live. We are live, and this is going to be a good one. I'm going to cover a lot of stuff. So pile in if you want to hear it live. Otherwise, you can catch the replay. Got quite a few things I want to talk about. Be having 2 streams today. This will be the first one. And then the second one, I will have 100% uptime this evening around 8 o'clock Pacific or Eastern time, where I'll be talking a lot more about PulseX and stuff. However, I will still go through some things today on that as well, because I really wanted to go through the different ways. Again, people are making money in PulseChain. This is not how I'm making money necessarily. Not financial advice, of course. If you want financial advice, go seek a financial advisor or go to another channel who will pretend to give it to you. I do not do that. It's not my style. However, I will be talking about some good stuff. So if I were new to the PulseChain ecosystem and I wanted, and I had some capital to deploy and I was like, oh, where did I put it? Staking, mining, validating, LP, what do I do? Then information like this would probably help me understand the options available. Not pushing you in one direction or another, but the options available. So just want to be clear. What's up, Western Decline? I hope we aren't declining. I do like Western culture a whole lot. So hopefully we're coming back. Just a dip. Just you buying the dip in Western culture. Could be. So let's get into a little bit. Also I want to make this interactive. I don't know how many people we're going to have here, but tell me what you're doing, or tell me what you have been thinking about, what you've seen other people doing as far as strategies go, or places to put money, all that. I feel like I got a handle on the top ones. I'm sure I missed some. A lot of community projects haven't launched yet. There's a lot of unknowns as far as that goes as well. A lot of people are waiting to put capital into different platforms that haven't launched yet. Liquid Loans, Power City, a lot of that stuff is people are really excited to use mint stables and all that stuff too. So there's a lot we just can't cover right now, but there's also a lot that's going on and a lot of opportunities out there to really, if you believe this, if you're bullish on the ecosystem, put yourself in a good position for it to do well. So give me just a second and I'll pull up a couple things here. Share the link on Twitter if you don't mind, or Telegram, wherever you feel like people are going to see it, because I think this will be a pretty fun one. So I'm going to bring up my Twitter for a minute, because actually, there's a couple things on here I will reference as well, especially Sloth's deal on the Pulse, but I'll get to that in a moment. I just want to tell everyone too, if you haven't seen pulsecoinlist.com, pretty cool. Still not using as much as I think I should. I'm still using PulseBurn mostly and Dex Screener. However, this is interesting. I think I've kind of like got myself away from looking at CoinMarketCap looking stuff. I've just got myself away from even looking at it, because I don't know. It's usually, unless we're just green candles bull market, it's just not helpful a lot of times just to see it go up and down all the time. So anyways, I never knew about this till the other day and Coffee mentioned it. So I thought it was pretty cool. Thought I would throw it out there. What's up, EJ Cryptomatic? I remember doing a Christmas video for you last year, I believe. And you doing the Christmas special and stuff. So shout out to you. Pretty cool stuff. Max is good. Thank you. I'm not sure that's true, but I appreciate the compliment for sure. I try my best out here. I'll get to chat from time to time, but I want to go through a few things. Let's look at PulseBurn. Yeah, finally got some green today. It's still 1.48x over SAC phase, or SAC price. PulseX finally moved off of four zeros and a 5, didn't it? Inc went down, so it went from like $4. I remember the first time I was paying attention to it, it was like $4, and then went up to 17, and then went up to like 30s, 40s, 50, and then went up to like 80. I think the 80 or 81 was as high. Crazy. However, it has came down a lot, and it settled. I think it hit 25 maybe yesterday or something like that. Seems like it. Who knows? Who knows? It would be interesting if it sort of started settling at a price. If it's down 50, 75% right now, maybe it is finding its doing price discovery and finding its range. But I don't know. I'd be happy if it settled $25 to $30. I think that's for the current conditions, for the health of the ecosystem. That would be cool to see. Again, no idea, but I wouldn't mind that. I don't need it to be $50 or $75 or whatever. The LP farms are more than rewarding. Again, if you have enough capital and if you have enough tolerance for the impermanent loss risk, and have had dotted all the T's and crossed all the I's there, if you understand it, then I think you're okay at not being $4, for example. And then Hex, 1.1 cent 8 here. I think eHex is usually hovering around 1.3. I'm going to assume right now. And then together, interesting, I like how they include it, 3 cents together. So there's that. Also, a feature of this that I like too is exclude OA. So if you're looking at market caps here, this is another thing. If you're new to the ecosystem and you're like, oh, low cap gems, that's what I'm looking for. Well, you're not going to find many low cap gems here. There are going to be plenty of community projects that you may find that in. But as far as the blue chips go, PulseChain, Hex, PulseX, incentive, sure, you could do that because it's literally starting from 1 second a day, starting from a very low issuance rate and price and all that. But in general, if you've been around for a while, you know that there's a benevolent whale who owns most of the coins. And if you want to look at the market cap without them, you exclude the OA. Nobody knows how many coins they own. However, the estimated ownership here, 263 bill Hex, 120 teal. Am I saying teal? Teal Pulse, and 122 teal PulseX. So if you exclude that, wow, these numbers look so much better. If you worry about market cap, right? Only 1.34 for PulseX, and still 2.2 for Pulse. Why did I get this hint of like not Ethereum, but maybe Solana and like different coins? Seeing them when they first came out as such low market caps compared to like a lot of other L1s, what they do. And even Hex, 1.58 bill. So thought that was a cool feature. So I'll show you that. Gas prices, validators. We'll be talking about validators as well. And everyone keeps asking, how much money can I make being a validator? And there's not, I don't know of any good answer, honestly. I can tell you how to factor that in. I can tell you how to come up with things based on plugging in the numbers for estimates. I'm sure people will be doing videos and stuff on that. But to me, it's just, it's so new. We don't know what the pulse price is going to be. We don't know what the APR is going to settle at. We don't know how many validators you're going to run. So maybe one day there'll be a calculator. I'm sure there will be, actually. But for now, I can just kind of explain what variables go into it. So we'll talk about that. And then PulseX transactions, volume, interesting. So we hit up 300 some mil volume. Went down to 140. Okay. Liquidity has been pretty steady though. Transactions, obviously, up and to the right. Pretty cool stuff there. So just going through this for people so we get enough people in, and then I'll talk to the chat for a sec. Someone let RH and the team know that V1 makes no sense. I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's go to Sloth for a minute on this. I've seen arguments that farms should only be V1. I think this is wrong. We want the maximum number of people compensated for bringing the liquidity at DEX. Long-term, more liquidity is more beneficial than increased buy and burn. That being said, I like the idea of the option to fully put fees into buy and burn and do some interesting game theory, but most people should be using V2. Only exception at this moment is where the farms are only on V1. Once we get V2 farms, most should put their LP there. Why make less money? I agree with those three thoughts. I think that on PulseX, V1, V2, again, everyone's looking at the V2. Are there going to be farms? All that stuff. And we'll get into that when I talk about farms more too. To me, honestly, it doesn't, again, some of these questions, they appear controversial, but I don't think they matter a whole lot, or they don't matter to me. I'll say that. I'm sure a lot of people care about fees and farms. And I'm just like, right now on V1, you're earning ink if you're participating in the farms. You're not earning LP if you're participating in the pools, not earning LP in the farms, but you're earning ink. again, ink has performed wildly well, beating all expectations that I've seen. So if you're earning ink in the farms, the only thing that should be better to me is I don't consider it would be nice to earn the LP in the farms too. I honestly could go either way. I think the ink is good enough, but we earn LP fees too. Cool. If that happens in V2. But the farms not being in V2 and only pools where you earn LP, as long as you're earning LP, as long as you're earning something, you're earning fees or ink, I think it's okay. If you can choose one or the other, if you want to give more to buy and burn, if you want to give the fees to buy and burn, you want to choose that's fine too. But I like having the choice. I think that's okay. I'm not sure V1 versus V2 is, I think this should change. I think it should be like, I don't know, some mode, right? Like burn mode versus earn mode. There you go. Just throwing it out there. So I think this will change over time because it sounds like there's an upgrade when, everyone thinks V2 is an upgrade. So that's a little confusing. But right now we're just testing, right? 3 weeks, zoom out, 3 weeks, going on a month since launch. So I think all the stuff we're working out, and when was the best time to buy Bitcoin? When's the best time to do all this stuff? When people had no idea, when everyone was calling us, oh, this is, criminal money, and nobody believed in it. People were buying pizzas with it. There's a price to pay for getting in early. And if you're willing to take on the risk and do all that stuff, then historically speaking, a lot of people, have made outsized gains getting in early, dealing with all the drama and BS and all this change, or there's a feature here that's missing or whatever. To me, it's all part of the experience. I don't get frustrated at this stuff. I'm just like, and what's cool about it is we have a billionaire genius founder who's literally knows how to make the best decisions. So there's no one more qualified to make these decisions and have the roadmap and do all the things you should, no expectations will ever happen, than Richard. So again, when I think, why don't I understand something? It's, I just believe it's a deficiency in me. Like I don't have the full picture. He does. Not saying he never makes mistakes. Not saying he's never did anything he wish he would have done differently. But there's no reason for me to believe that I could do it better. So why not trust him, right? So that's my take on that. We'll see how it shakes out. Maybe it goes away. Maybe it changes. Maybe it stays. I'm not sure, Mark G, but I think they'll get it figured out. The Chad of Chads, of the Donner, of the houses, of the chat has entered, and we welcome the Chad Donner Schwans. Welcome to the show. So with that, let me grab a drink for a second. Again, share the link out. I think a lot of people benefit. Again, let me know your strategies. Let me know what you're doing, what you've heard people doing, what you're confused about seeing people doing, what you like that you've seen people doing. Let me know in the chat if you want me to provide commentary or talk about it, right? You don't have to, but if you want me to acknowledge it and talk about it, let me know in the chat. My coffee's cold. Anyone get off crypto Twitter today, by the way? Anyone just go outside in the morning, in the afternoon, wherever you are, at night even? I flew a kite today, so probably fly a kite tomorrow too. Pretty fun to disconnect, even if it is for 30 minutes to an hour or so. You get to disconnect, and then you get to come up with wonderful ideas for streams. Yay, it's all a circle, isn't it? We'll see. Again, you want to play the game so you can be free of the game. You don't want to play the game forever. You want to choose healthy games, play them, and then be done with them, or convert into a more chill version of the game. So there's some of you have been here since 2016. I've been here since 2016. I don't want to be here. I don't know. We're getting existential right now. I don't want to be here in my same position with my same capital, with my same, I don't know. I like my ambition though. I want things to improve over time. I'll say that. So again, if I ever disappear, go by the island, never see me again, hopefully I gave you enough. I'm not saying I'm going to do that. I'm just saying for everyone to think about you're playing this game for a reason. You're playing to win, hopefully. And winning is not going to look the same now than it looks in the future. And I hope everyone wins, takes their massive winnings, and goes contribute to the real world instead of just crypto Twitter drama and catching up with Leadus Project. I mean, all that stuff I love intellectually. As a nerd, I love that stuff. However, I don't think my highest calling is crypto Twitter. I'll say that. So I try to avoid the drama in the first place. And by golly, I hope we're all able to get those Lambos, yachts, and islands sometime in the future. So that's why I'm here. I believe in the mission. I believe in Richard. And I believe in the mad gains. So it's a win-win. Coffee did not heat up during that conversation. It went the other direction. That's okay. All right. Look at the chat one more time, and I will get into it. I'm waiting for single status staking. Yes, we're going to talk about that, crypto world, when I get to the LP portion and stuff and PulseX. The world is waiting for single status staking. They want to put their PulseX into this staking system where they can earn project coins. Yes, it's very interesting. And, a place. The whole thing is about yield, by the way. Prefaces the entire thing about the ecosystem, at least to me. I want to put my money where it gets yield. There's different places to put it. That's what we're going to talk about, obviously, during this conversation. A lot of different places to put it. Places with more risk, less risk. Places where you can lock it up for a long time or lock it up and unlock it whenever you want. That's the key. And if you're sitting liquid, not doing anything with it, in Hex, for example, you're getting diluted, right? Inflation is paid to stakers. So whether it's LP, whether it's staking, whether you're participating in some borrowing platform, whatever it is, the key is to get yield on your money and then let it appreciate. That's what I believe. And that's my goal. And thankfully, in this ecosystem, we have a ton of tools to do that. So again, I'm going to go through the comments. I'm going to get into it. We've been gatekept because of RH. Hi, Tofu. You used to be Simba, didn't you? No more outreach marketing. I think Richard's humble right now, although I kind of miss outreach marketing in some ways. The only person doing outreach marketing should be Howard Stern. It's a legend. Luna C Point, what's happened? Happy Friday to you, Luna. Happy Friday. JB, welcome. Was away a couple days from Ted. Can you go over how to switch new LPs to pay fees, please? Well, I'm basically, boom, V2. So that's, from what I understand, that's what let's see, let me look at the pools. See, things are kind of limbo right now. So even if I manually type in info pools, yeah, I don't see any showed up. So I think we're still waiting on liquidity and things to build up for V2 farms and pools. You can still add it, I believe. I haven't did much on V2 because I'm waiting for the big bangs to come out. I want to see the farms and I want to see the pools actually be available here. But you can, I think a lot of people have been adding liquidity, and maybe once we hit a threshold, they'll be released on the main page, from my understanding. So yeah, basically V1 to V2, but we're still waiting on the big stuff to happen with V2. So that's what we're looking at. Hit the like button, treat it as you're taking free content. That's true. I do not monetize. I actually lose a lot of money streaming. I lose a lot of time and money. I don't call it losing though. I call it, I want to work on something and I want to, contribute, and that's why I'm doing it. So, however, yes, I invest. I invest in my content. Say it that way. Overtime working replay gang for me. Get the DCA up. Yep. Cool, man. Good to see you, Paul. Appreciate that. Working. Hopefully you can turn those dollars into, turn those pennies into dollars, turn those dollars into $100 bills, man. That's what we're here for. Yes, sir. You're welcome. All right. Let's get into it. First of all, go.hex.com. I know a lot of you know about Hex. all that stuff. However, Hex is down. I don't know if you've heard, Hex is down quite a bit from what it used to be. It's not gonna be the best chart. I just clicked on it for a minute. Yeah, not the best chart. I don't really care to bring up the chart right now. I just want to tell people that one of the ways to make yield in the ecosystem is staking Hex. So Hex used to be much higher. It used to be 50 cents, right? Now it's at 1 cent. You can buy, what was Coffee saying? You could buy like 1 million Hex for $13,000 or something the other day. So for 10 to 20K, you can buy 1 million Hex. And I love the way Coffee puts it too. If you treat one Hex like it's worth $1, then you think differently, right? If you believe Hex will hit $1 one day, and right now it's at a penny and you're trading it and all this stuff, if you believe it's worth $1, boy, do we have discounts on Hex right now, if you believe that. So you can stake Hex, longer pays better, bigger pays better. This is where you do it. If you connect to wallet, you can see all the stuff, beautiful charts, see all your active stakes. Oh, it says stake again. Are we back to staking? Let's see what hex.com says. No, it still says mining here. Anyway, so mine your Hex, stake your Hex, publish your Hex. Got the hex.com diamond, all that good stuff. So that is the original way. That is the OG Hexagon way. New people still coming in. It is your certificate deposit is the analogy. The better version of Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin doesn't pay you yield, Hex does. And you're able to get, it says 38 APY on the website. It basically, that is a very, maybe that's like the max, or maybe that's like the, if you have a ton of capital put in, you could predict if you, based on how much you put in, how much you stake for 1 year, 15 years is going to be a big difference. So it could be 10%, it could be 25%, it could be, different stuff. So that is one way to get yield. And a lot of people have been taking advantage of it. Hex on Ethereum, Hex on PulseChain, both are surviving as of now. They may thrive in the future. The market may decide one is a winner, who knows? But for now, when PulseChain launched and you had Hex stakes before, they got copied over. And now, people have stakes going for a while. And that is one of the safest ways, because, the risk is the price goes down. The reward is, or the other side is like asymmetric gains. If you buy Hex at a penny, for example, and it goes to $1, it goes to 50 cents, whatever, and your stake ends, you're able to get liquid from it, then you can take advantage of that. Again, a lot of people bought at 50 cents. It went down to a penny. That's the price you paid for mad gains, right? It can go down. Huge volatility with Hex and everything in the ecosystem, everything in crypto, pretty much. Bitcoin goes down 85%. So that's the thing you need to pay attention to. However, long enough time horizon, all this stuff matters, right? In it for 6 months, you're going to treat your stuff differently. You're going to stake for 6 months. It's different than staking for 5 years or 10 years and all this stuff. There's also HSIs. You can make tradable stakes, a Hedron ecosystem, amazing stuff. Won't get into it here, but Hex is a way to make yield. It is a way to lock up coins and get paid more when the stake ends. It's a great system. It is the foundation for the ecosystem and everything we do and the way we think about things. So if you're new, delayed gratification is built in. Ecosystem is designed to appreciate and designed to delay gratification. And a lot of people have been very successful with it. So that's one way. Staking Hex. What's happened, Sloth? You won't get in. You won't get in here, sir. You won't get in here. I don't know what that means. Do you want to come on? Let me know. Let me know. I can always use another connoisseur of mad gains. Okay, so staking on PulseX. So that's the single side staking we were talking about earlier. So let's go to, so we don't have it right now. However, on PulseX, why am I not? So if you go to PulseX, this is where you can trade, you can, see the ratios, do all that stuff. And you can do LP, so you can provide liquidity. You can look at the farms. So this is V1 versus V2. Again, I discussed this earlier. It may change. We may have a burn and may have an earn tap, which have different features. And you can see the farms too. Again, we don't have single-sided staking. Single-sided staking will be where you can stake PulseX and earn the new project tokens that are coming out. That'll, a lot of projects will be launching on PulseX. We hope, and they'll be distributing coins via airdrop, or not airdrops. An alternate way of doing an airdrop is distribute your coins to people who stake their PulseX, and you get to farm new coins out of that. So just the way you farm incentive token here, where you provide LP in the farms that have all this juicy, amazing APY that come with risk and a permanent loss, all that stuff, do your own research. You'll be able to earn different coins with single-sided staking with PulseX. So with this, you have incentive token that you earn, and you'll be able to make LP fees depending on, again, the versions. All that stuff's getting sorted out right now. However, very interesting, the different APYs here. You see that the consensus less risky pools have lower APYs, super high liquidity. A lot of people like to participate there. And I did all kinds of content on LP and permanent loss and to understand all of that. However, if you have enough capital and you want to participate, then it may be worth it for you to do that. You have to make your own decision on that. But earning incentive token has been very interesting because what do you know? It's actually worth money. So again, I talked about it earlier. It started out a few dollars. It went up to 80 some dollars. Now it's down to, in the 20s and $30 range. And the more you put in for LP, the higher percentage of the pool you get, and the more you can earn based on APRs. APRs can go up and down. More people participate. The lower your share is going to be. All that good stuff. However, if you are interested in putting capital in, and you're okay with the risk, you did all the numbers, you crunched all the numbers. For example, Inc. PLS, there's a cool little calculator here, ROI calculator. And if you put in $1,000, based on the current rates, it'll tell you a year, 15K, a week, $55. You 10x that, you put in 10K, you get $500 over 30 days. Oops. Per month, $2,500. Again, the Inc. token price could go down. The APR could go down. You need to understand these things before you participate. You could get coin. You could get the other coin. So if you put in Inc. and PLS and one of them goes to the moon, you may have more of the other one, right? So you may end up with a bunch of the token that didn't do as well, or you may end up, if you participate in some of the pools, you may end up essentially selling it all. Or selling a lot of it if you participate in the stablecoin pairs, because you may end up with a lot of USDC if one of the other side runs away. So there are risks. Be informed. Make sure you understand them before you participate. But if you do and you decide to participate, I don't know where else you're going to get 400, 500, 300% APYs on a lot of these, especially outside the stablecoin pairs, which is very interesting. So if you believe in Hex, PulseChain long-term, if your time horizon is more than the next few weeks, then this could be attractive to you. Again, assuming you understand the risks and you're okay with the outcomes that could be the worst case scenarios. So again, if you got significant capital, if you got 100K, look at this. This is, again, Inc. could go to zero. I don't think it will. I think I believe it's an integral part of the ecosystem now because it's used for LP. You want to reward them. Sloth has a bunch of good content on this as well. APR could go way down. More people could participate. And you could be losing opportunity. It could be opportunity cost to get, PLS or Inc. or all these different scenarios. Again, I think if you have significant capital and you understand the risks, it could be rewarding based on how much you have to put in, how long you can wait, and if you believe in, over the long term, the health of the ecosystem. So that's what I want to say on that. Oh, you said you won't get a Hicks. Yeah, because you're not here to explain it really well. That's why. No, I just, you know, I mean, Hedron, Icosa, and the whole, I love lots of NFTs. So it's just trying to focus on the blue chips right now, and talk about that. All right, stop for questions for a sec. Angler, how do you see V2 liquidity pairs? I haven't seen them yet, so we're still waiting. When V3, we'll see, Nathan. We'll see. Let's see. Late 28. Your opinion, 4 mil in LP for a year or stake for a year? Not finished. I should finish. I don't know, man. 4 mil of what? 4 mil dollars in LP? Yeah, I'm not sure. Depends on if you're saying 4 mil hex, 4 mil pulse, 4 mil dollars, or stake for a year. That's what I'm saying. It's like 2 scoops of ice cream or 3. If you like ice cream, you're gonna like this ecosystem. So I'm not sure. Again, I try to stay away from predictions or anything that looks like financial advice. So I will say that hex, 4 mil hex. I don't know. You got to run the numbers, man. You got to run the numbers. I think there's a lot of juicy opportunities out there. So let's talk about ink for a minute. The next thing that nobody saw coming, and I think it's pretty interesting. So the incentive token, again, if we just look at the chart on this, because we actually have some interesting data. So again, it could go up and down. I believe LP providers are incentivized to keep rolling it into other stuff. We can see what it can do already. I mean, when are you going to start? I'm just waiting on the videos when people are saying ink to $1,000, right? Because if you're looking at, I know a lot of people would never even put in the category of the tokenomics for PulseChain, PulseX, Hex. Okay, you don't have to put it in the category. However, if you think of bull run numbers, you think of 10,000x meme, all that stuff. Even if you don't think the tokenomics are better than the other ones, which honestly I think tokenomics are fine. I don't think it's a bad coin. It's definitely never going to be the dump forever coin, in my opinion. However, like, I don't know. It is to me, it is a vital part of the ecosystem, and it's paired with all the other coins, and it's a Richard Hart coin. He does not make loser coins. Richard does not make loser coins. So I think the genius of the ecosystem for the LP plays here is that everyone is incentivized to hold or roll into other things and to really wait, lock up their coins and wait. I think that's huge. And most people just don't see it right now. They just don't see it. And I believe they will later on, but will the mad gains be there later on? I'm sure there'll be some gains left, but a lot of people don't see it right now, and that's all right. I just think that it's very underrated as far as on the radar for people. People don't understand it. Nobody wants another sack phase. Hey, you didn't get one with this either. Pretty cool. I tweeted this the other day, I guess yesterday. The play almost nobody wants to do in PulseX. Farm ink, roll ink into the ink farms, and just believe ink isn't the dump forever token. So you're okay holding it. You're okay keep rolling into those gains and stuff. And again, got to be comfortable with permanent loss. Got to be you need coins to be enough. If you're at least for me, I'm not interested in. I'm just using this farm for an example. I'm not interested in making $7 a day. Just not. I think there's better yield opportunities. I would rather stake. I'd rather stake than make $7 a day. Even if I made less than $7 a day staking Hex with my bag, I would believe the price appreciation. I believe price appreciation over time would make up for it. So I would not choose it if I were making $7 a day. But again, let's just put $1 million in there. I don't know if anyone's watching has $1 million to put in these pools, but if you do, it could be advantageous. One day, 7K. Now, I know there's plenty of people in this ecosystem who have that kind of money. There's plenty of whales who sacrifice. There's plenty of pools and people and all this stuff. Where do you think they're going to be putting their money? Where do you think they have put their money already? We see all these millions of dollars liquidity. Look at this. You think this is like 100,000 people putting liquidity? I don't think so. I think it's as it always works out, right? It's a few whales and then everyone else. So they already know. I think the whales already figured this out. Maybe on day 1, maybe on day 7, but they figured it out. And do you think they want the ink token to be worth more or less? Leave that there. I think so. So the fact that nobody talks about this, nobody tweets about it. I mean, I'm not a money maximalist. I think transparency is cool. I like talking about this stuff. I don't think, I don't have 100K followers. I don't think everyone's going to look at this anyways. Since I tweeted it, I haven't seen the APRs go way down. So I still think a lot of people don't get it, but yeah, this is to me, this is the interesting play. I'm not saying I'm doing it. I'm not saying other people are doing it. I'm just saying when I look at the yield pools, I'm just like, this is like one of many plays you could have. Again, if you're comfortable, you accept all the risks, not financial advice. This is one of the many plays that people could be doing. So I think the LP farms I'm very excited. I did not think I'd be that excited about these farms, but I am. So it's pretty cool. $7 a day is good money to be greedy. I don't like that greedy word, Mark. I have this whole thing about greed. I think when people say don't be greedy, it's a limiting belief to me. Again, I'm not saying this to you or anything. I'm just talking in general about the word greed. I found it hard to use the word greed in a way that is meaningful and actually describe something as it is. So for example, maybe if you have a kid, the kid's like taking other kids' toys or eating all the ice cream or eating all the bananas, shout out to our friend Somi. Maybe you call them greedy, I guess. But for me as a human being, an adult that is interested in making money and compounding an ecosystem, both social capital and monetary capital, I don't think the word greedy is useful. I just don't think it is. I think that greedy is a way to talk yourself or try to talk other people out of ways to make outsized returns, right? Like, I just don't. Let me know if you have legitimate ways to use greedy where they make a positive impact. Because to me, and again, I'm not speaking to you, Mark. You could be joking about the whole thing. I just think it's interesting to talk about the word greedy because I never see it. I always see people using it as a way to limit other people or like because they can't, because they're not interested in taking risks or they're not interested in their highest calling is, not mad gains. I don't know. Again, I don't, of course I would never ad hominem. All right. I try to avoid that, Mark, but I think you bring up a cool little spiel I have there on greedy. So anyway, hope that's useful. So $7 a day is good money. It totally can be. Depends on where you are, depends on your ambitions, all that stuff. If $7 a day is good for you, buy. There's probably a lot of people who are participating here. Let's see. Let's take this. How much do we need to make per day here? So you need 10K. Let's say 7. Oh, my bad. 8, 6. So if you want to put $6,500 into the PulseX WPLS pool, where if you love both coins, you don't mind to get more one than the other, and you're okay with the APR, what was it, 45% or something? There you go. $6,500 get you $7 or $8 a day. Totally fine. The other risk too, people you may want to think about in farms, and this may come with other farms, may not have anything to do with PulseX because we believe. I believe whoever's putting these farms up they're doing it for a reason. And these aren't like rugged things, right? The other thing is, like I was talking to Sloth about this on stream the other day. The other risk in the farms would be, do you believe one of the tokens will be rugged or something bad will happen to it? All these coins, this is Rich R ecosystem coins. These are from Ethereum. These are not the ones on PulseX. These are the ones that have real money bridged in and paired. All of these from Ethereum, all the coins you see here are either Richard Hart coins or they've been bridged in from Ethereum. All the coins you see. So the risk of rugging, to me, I don't really factor it in, because where's the rug? They're going to pull all the liquidity, I guess. They're going to like bridge it all back over. I don't see it. Let me know if you know some other risks of getting rugged on these type of things. I don't see it. So Alan, you guys make money? Sign me up. Yes, sir. We try. We try to make money around here. Joe says, DCA, you're harvesting ink. Harvest low to minimize your tax event. Buy the lows. Minimize your tax event. Buy the lows. Buy ink low. Hold until having collect more ink while stockpiling LP shells for more adoption to come. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, by the way, if anyone didn't hear me before, let me know what you're doing, what you've seen other people doing, what you are scared to do, what you think is safe to do. Let me know. I'll go for another maybe 15 minutes or so on this. And if you want me to comment or have commentary on the strategy you're using, again, I don't give financial advice. I don't make predictions, but if you want me to talk about it, put them in the chat, because hey, I'm always open for like new ideas too. I'm sharing a lot of the ideas that I've came across here and things I've seen people doing. So if you want to share some with me, feel free. No expectations. I can totally do the show by myself. No worries. Sloth thinks I can't make content on my own. He thinks I need to invite guests on to make content. Well, you're right on the clips. I don't see myself clipping myself very often. I mean, I wouldn't say that. I used to get like 20 clips out of Axis. It's pretty amazing. And this is not a reflection on Axis. This was just, we talked about so many cool things when it was so early, especially last year before PulseChain launched. And I used to, a lot of educational things, a lot of like evergreen content too. But man, I remember out of Axis, out of maybe 410Ds, some of these guys are just super galaxy brains. I remember being like, oh my God, I got to create 20 thumbnails. Crazy. So that's just a testament to that. And yeah, I don't need to be the smartest guy in the room to make content. Sloth, I don't need to be. Let's see. Here's no. See, I want to do like a wealth mindset on this now. I may put that in there. Actually, it's good stuff. Pulse forward greed. When you're already in a good position, you take a bunch on risks, slightly more gains. Yes. Okay. So the assumption there would be, let's take the $7 a day deal. I guess if you're happy with $7 a day, then you wouldn't. It would be greedy to take on more when you believe that's going to get you to whatever goal you have. I guess I could see that. When you're already in a good position, take on more slightly more gains. Yeah. So I guess the key word there is slightly. So for example, 42% APR, nothing wrong with that. 500%. That wouldn't be, that's where I don't think greed would fit in here. It's 500% more. So again, obviously more risky. Obviously, you may end up with a bunch of DAI and much less PLS. But that I would say, so that wouldn't qualify slightly. However, here's another point. What do you think PulseChain and crypto is going to do in the next 6 months to a year? Do you think we're going to the moon? Do you think all the people talking about 2024 and 2025 and all this stuff, you think they're just, how we always go up after the Bitcoin halving? And do you think all the people are just like, it's totally possible. I mean, anything's possible. It's possible for the PulseChain ecosystem to have an extreme crazy bull run just ourselves. It's possible we could kick off the next bull run. But how likely is that? Is it more likely that we just go sideways for the next year? I hear a lot of people talk about that. So the point is, if you're worried about the stablecoin pairs, you're worried about losing some of these coins. One, if you believe it's going to go sideways for a while, wouldn't it be in your best interest to pick up the yield if you don't think the pairs are going to run away from each other, if you're happy with the ratio? And two, if you're still working, you still have income, even if they did run away at some point, if you're DCAing in, wouldn't that kind of like make up for that? Like, would that really factor into your risk as well? So those are two things I would think about too when you're factoring in whether to participate. If it goes sideways for the next year, for example, and you're able to pick up, whatever APR you choose, again, assuming the APR, more people participate, of course, APR is going to go down over time. How much? Will 500 turn into 50% or will 500 turn into 300%? And you're still making a ton. All these things you should factor in. But if we were in a bull run right now, I would say, whoa, yeah, this would definitely be more risky to me. But don't know when that's going to happen. Don't know when we're going to be in it. So anyways, great commentary, Pulse Lord. What else we got going on? I loved your reaction to launch during live. Yeah, well, I was like, yes. It was hard to believe. It really was. I was like, can somebody fact check the fact checker here? I'm not sure I believe it. What's up, Red Squirrel? What's happening? Let's see. What else I got to talk about? Again, I'm gonna wrap up. I think LP is the most exciting one. I would say that a lot of people are looking at right now. Oh, I was gonna say on Inc. too. Tetra. If you're not familiar, I got invited to a stream on Sunday. It sounds like there's a demo happening for Tetra, but I've heard Neil for T-Shares talk about there could be staking INC token, and among other things, it could be staking other things too. But I think Tetra, it's a very interesting project that automates DeFi. Again, it's kind of complicated. There's a lot of videos to go down, but once you understand it, once I understood it, at least, I was like, whoa, could be great for the ecosystem. It could, automate a lot of strategies, help you make more money, be more efficient. It could also create more volume for PulseChain. So if you're a validator, that's a good thing as well. So anyways, wanted to throw that out there. I'll put it in the chat if you're interested to look at it. But I think that's another thing not a lot of people are talking about. And I think it's launching this summer sometime. So I think that's going to be great for the ecosystem. If they're able to pull it off, this off, I think it's going to be great for the PulseChain ecosystem. So that's where you could even stake your ETH token. If you didn't want to keep rolling into other farms, maybe be able to stake it. I think other people will build on Inc. or provide other features, even if Richard does nothing else. I think the tokenomics are fine by itself, but I also think other people build on it because they built on Hex, didn't they? Building on PulseChain, or things that are related to it. So I think that'll be cool. And let me go through the comments and I'll cover the last thing. I'll cover validators here in a sec. Thanks, Toby1. Appreciate that, man. Hextech says LPing for 1 year earning Inc. Not a bad idea, Hextech. Not a bad idea. A lot of people seem to be doing that. Crypto World, have you seen the Pulse amplifier miners? People say good. Yeah, I have no idea. I do not pay attention to a lot of the stuff that's being built. A lot of people, they'll tag me or message me or otherwise. And I'm like, guys, first of all, I don't have a lot of time. I try to really focus my consciousness on a lot of just things that I believe are important, already known, that I believe in, that I hear other people talk about. But I would watch out. I have no idea about this one, but there would be a lot of systems for yield people trying to get you into. So watch out for that. I just don't pay attention to a lot of them. I got more than enough to pay attention to in this ecosystem. Nathan says, waiting for LP fees, farming, buy, pull out LP when it drops to around 500% on risky pairs. Flow bags would be both for happening rotation Inc. to LP pair. Interesting. Yeah, honestly, I was really excited about single-sided staking. And then now I think I'm still more excited about the LP portion. I think there's a ton of opportunities there. And the less people know about them, the more they are, I guess. But for the single-sided staking, I know a lot of people like that. They like, to get coins of new projects. I don't know. to me, like new projects just aren't as interesting as the already ones we have here that are money printers. So I know a lot of people, it's another place to put your PulseX to get yield. We'll be able to do it at third-party projects as well that are really popular, Liquid Loans, Power City, all that stuff. So I don't know. I used to be more excited about single-sign staking, but now I'm like, I'm having fun with this Ink Party. It's going pretty well. So I think it's fine. Hopefully it continues. I know it won't continue forever, but it's pretty cool. I like it. Hexographer, what's happening? List swap pack for camping. Good. Somebody's going outside doing cool stuff. If you got a kite, feel free to fly it out there as well. They are fun. I thought of $7 hairs a day. That was the prop. I get it now. I get it. I understand now. RHMax, build on my secret strategies. We got to cancel RHMax. Yeah. Good thing I don't work for money, right? I don't monetize, so I don't have any money to take away as far as that goes. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty freeing. I can talk about what I want, have who I want on the show. I can do all that stuff. So it's pretty fun. It's pretty cool to going from the mindset of like wanting money for everything and wanting to be paid for everything to just wanting to have more control over my own life and my own things I work on, my own things that I talk about. It's definitely a different mindset change, but it's very freeing, I believe. Kind of like freedom from and freedom to. Used to, it's like a lot of people like, I want to be freedom to. I want to be able to do anything I want, which is great. And then a lot of people like freedom from. I want freedom from having to work for other people. Freedom from, taking feedback from society. I want to take feedback from reality, all this stuff. So anyways, come to a wealth mindset or a mad gains mindset. I have a mad gains mindset coming up with Maxim and cryptographics next week. And she'll be talking about some fun stuff there. Anyways, Tetra.win if you want to look at it. Last thing, everyone. Last thing I will talk about, let's see, is validators. So I think validators, I'll drop this in here if you want to be a validator. I got guides and scripts and all that stuff to make it easy. And it's been updated 2 hours ago. I added some more stuff to the wiki. So plenty of fun stuff. And then I love that PulseBurn puts the validator map here. Pretty amazing. 20,300 more coming on board. We started out with 4,096 Genesis validators, and they're burning their fees, which was a hidden fundamental we didn't even know about till PulseChain launched. Fantastic. But you don't have to burn your fees. So anything over the 4,096 are all community validators, people spinning up servers. You can run more than one validator on a machine, all that good stuff. So we have 15, 16K community validators. Amazing. Breaking the 20K mark. Let me go to the launch pad and I can tell you how much APR validators are making currently. It started out like 50% and then, obviously went down. The more people have joined, 22.9%. Ethereum is 4%. So we're still 5-6x Ethereum. Fantastic, right? So how much can you make being a validator? That's the question everyone says, right? So validating, you lock up 32 million pulse per validator. You can run more than one validator on a machine. And you earn PLS, you're in a position, a part of the pool fees, or a part of fees in the pool. So you get a portion of the fees that come through transactions. And you earn those and you earn priority fees. So I don't know if you ever tried to do a transaction and you're like, I really want this to go through. I'll bump up. I'll pay the validators more, whatever. There's another wallet where you can use the same wallet as your withdrawal, I guess, to collect priority fees. And they're actually higher than I thought. So they were, last time I checked, they were 10 or 20% of my total fees were priority fees, which I thought it'd be like, maybe up to 5%. But I was like, man, I didn't know people were using so many priority fees. So there's three things that make up what you can earn. So these are the three calculations that I'm aware of. How many validators you run. So the more validators, the more bigger position of the pool, more you can earn. The APR, currently 22.9%. Will that go up? Will that go down? More validators come online, it'll go down. So we don't know what it's going to settle at right now. Still, again, 4, 5, 6 times Ethereum. And the PLS price. So at launch, it was what, $35, $32, $3,500 to become a validator. Now, actually, I think I have it on PulseBurn here. Let's see. Yeah. So to become a validator now, around $4,700. So can you imagine? Pulse is at this number. Can you imagine if you drop a couple zeros, how expensive it's going to be to become a validator? Getting in early, you can be a validator for much cheaper if you're going to buy it straight off the market, of course. If you got a bunch of Pulse, you're saving later on to be a validator, that's fine too. But people who want to become a validator later on, they may be paying $40K, if we do a 10X, and on and on. So I suspect Richard is probably going to adjust some variables. I think the high APY for validators was necessary in the beginning, and maybe we'll do a fork later on and an upgrade later on to bring that down so real people can become validators afterwards. But once, if the price goes up 10, 20, 100X, whatever, it's another way to, your deposit's locked up. So however many validators you have times this number is locked up, and you're earning the fees, and those fees become worth more the price goes up, and you're essentially holding. It's giving you a place to hold, and while you're earning yield, being locked up through the fees. So pretty cool stuff. Again, cannot tell you how much you're gonna make as a validator. I'm sure there'll be a calculator to come out to tell you all these stuff and all these assumptions we're gonna make. But right now, it depends on the APR, depends on how many validators you run, and it depends on the price of PLS. And a lot of people, there's 20,000 validators right now. So I would say there's at least a few thousand people. You can run more than one validator on a server. More than one person can run more than one validator. So there's at least a few thousand people who love decentralization, love the community, but they also probably, maybe they know they're not going to be in the hole in the future. They're going to make some money eventually because they're willing to bet the price of Pulse goes up over time at some point. And you can always exit being a validator later on if you want. But the APY right now, pretty awesome. 40% APY was amazing. 20% is great. Kicking Ethereum's butt. So Ethereum validator 64K and only earns 34. Exactly. We are early, super early. Dustin, SSS up yet? No, it is not, as far as I know. But that's a cool thing. All these new features are coming, so should be pretty amazing. Again, if you want to be a validator, I already dropped in the chat, but I have a guide, I have videos, I have a walkthrough, I have all the stuff. Other people in the community have stuff too. I put them on here as well in a section. Yeah, I do validator AMAs every once in a while as well to help the community be the best validator they can be. I think that's it. So we went over Hex. So ways to make money, ways people are making money in PulseChain. We went over Hex, mining, publishing, staking, all that stuff. Amazingly low prices on Hex right now. We went over the single-sided staking that's coming to PulseX, but also the LP options that are available now. And again, all the other community projects that are coming up that can show you how to, or give you places to earn yield on your coins. You may be able to stake INC with Tetra in the future. People can roll it. You can roll INC into the other farms. I'll just put this up here, as some people can be doing. And then the APR, of course, if you're comfortable with impermanent loss, if you have enough coins to make it worth it, if you like $7 a day or $700 a day, whatever you feel like doing and can afford and want to be consistent with, APR can go up and down, the INC price can go up and down, all that stuff as well. Be aware of all that stuff before you do it. And then being a validator, you can be a validator, you can earn fees, and you can contribute to the network. So that's the top ones I can think of. And we're just getting started. Again, 3 weeks in. I've never been so excited. You guys see me streaming all the time, streaming almost every day. That may slow down. That may speed up. Probably more likely to slow down than speed up. But yeah, I love this stuff. So glad I could help. Appreciate that, Benny. Appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. You way famous church power genie. Yeah, I guess that's fine. Yeah, I was talking about the not monetizing has some benefits. Murky had been trying to find a cloud provider that takes crypto as payments. Yeah, actually, I never thought about that. There's other ways. So if you search RHMax privacy, you can get a virtual debit card. So you link it to your bank account, and then it gives you a virtual card. It's like a proxy, basically. So you don't have to give your personal information. You can, give it whatever you want. So check that out. Search RHMax privacy. And one of the clips, I was talking about that during the security AMA, I believe. One of the security AMAs. So anyways, that's all I got for you. Again, I should be going live with a surprise guest, a pretty popular YouTuber that I ran into, and he was making a lot of PulseX content and stuff. So I thought I'd hang out with him in a few hours. So in about 5 hours, 8 o'clock, 8:15 Eastern time, I'll be live again, and we'll be talking about it. And it should be great. So everyone, go out there and be the best version of yourself. That's what I like to be doing. Scivive and 5555. We are out.